that has been submitted by some Ghanaians.
The Constitution says the President must act in what? In consultation and advice of the Council of State. But today, what are we saying?
Though the protest began peacefully, a scuffle ensued at the entrance of the Supreme Court when protesters tried to enter the premise. But calm was restored through the intervention of the Ghana Police Service. Presenting a petition to the acting Judicial Secretary, cautioned members of the Judicial Service staff to think deeply about the interference of the Judiciary.
Practitioner of the court, I'm humbly calling on all judges, all Judicial Service staff, to think deep about tomorrow. Not to be too comfortable, because today some government officials are promising Judicial Service staff and the judges of promotion.
In addition to the judiciary, formal petitions were delivered to both Parliament and the Office of the President, urging a reversal of the decision to enforce stronger protection for judicial independence.
After working hours to the premises of the Jubilee House, leader of the minority, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, presented a petition on behalf of the protesters.
My respected brother and friend, this is to you. The language is very respectful and decent and expresses our views because we know we are addressing the president.
In response, Deputy Chief of Staff Stan Dogbe assured protesters that President Mahama will receive the petition in good faith.
I can assure you and the people of Ghana that we appreciate the fact that just as government, ensured that you went about your demonstration peacefully, we would work together with you and all the political parties, and your petition will be given the due response.
Addressing the gathering after presenting the petition to the Deputy Chief of Staff, Alexander Afenyo-Markin also accused President Mahama of attempting to subvert the Constitution for a third term.
Institutions and trusts with safeguarding our liberties are being infiltrated, manipulated, and desecrated. A ruthless cabal determined to cling to power at all costs. A third term agenda.
Now, still on matters of yesterday's protest, the Ghana Police Service has officially invited Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin to assist in an ongoing investigation following a viral video allegedly showing him assaulting a police officer during the Save the Judiciary demonstration. According to the statement from the police service, multiple video footages of the incident have been reviewed, prompting the decision to seek Afenyo-Markin's cooperation in the probe. Now, in a formal request, the police service has written to the Speaker of Parliament asking for Afenyo-Markin's release to aid the investigation. The officer involved in the alleged altercation will also be assisting with inquiries, and be sure to know that GHOne will bring you more up-to-date information as and when it comes. Now, Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party, Richard Ahiangba, says the police officer seen in the viral video allegedly being hit by Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin hit the parliamentarian first. Now, the scuffle happened during the submission of a petition at Parliament House. Ahiangba described the incident as an affront to democratic engagement, condemning the police. Now, Ahiangba also criticised the Deputy Chief of Staff's response to their petition, calling it partisan and evasive.
We were trying to get into the perimeter to submit the petition. I was right there. I was trying to shield, because I'll have to identify the people who would get in to be able to do the submission. So all across, we had 10 people, including the 4 political parties who were with us and some of our leaders, and then some invited people to join us to do the submission. So when we were trying to get through the barricades, there was a scuffle there. There was a bit of push and shove around there. And in the exercise of everybody trying to get through, rather than make way for the leader to come through, the police officer hit the minority leader on the chest. He hit him on the chest. So the police officer hit the minority leader on the chest. And then was preparing to hit him again, and in reflex, trying to turn the person off. Your cameras may have picked his hands up. But what has happened is that the police officer assaulted Honorable Afenyo-Markin first. I was right there. I saw everything happen. You understand? And if you have a copy of that video, I was trying to tell the police officer to hold it. So it was nothing to say that Afenyo-Markin attacked the person or assaulted anybody. It is the person who assaulted him and was very ready to hit him again and in reflex, tried to prevent the man from getting to him. That was what happened. So please, let's not focus on these tangential matters. If there is any case of assault, it should be against the police officer because he purposefully, premeditated, hit the minority leader on the chest. And that actually affected him. And he saw that in Parliament we delayed.
Now, President John Dramani Mahama has served notice that appointees who are required to declare their assets as prescribed in Article 286 of the 1992 Constitution and Public Office Holders' Declaration of Assets and Disqualification Act, but failed to do so by the end of May 7, 2025, which is tomorrow, will be shown the exit from government. This stems from reports of the inability of some appointees who failed to comply with an earlier directive to do so by the end of March 31, 2025. Speaking at the official launch of the Code of Conduct for Public Officials at the Presidency, President Mahama directed that 3 months' salary of those who failed to declare their assets at the earlier deadline be donated to Ghana Medical Trust Fund.
On the 18th February 2025, I set a deadline of 31st March 2025 for all appointees who are taking office or being nominated at the time to declare their assets. An update provided by the Auditor General to my office indicates that some of you failed to meet that deadline. For all those who are appointed or nominated before 31st March 2025 and failed to meet the deadline, you are to forfeit 3 months of salary to be donated to the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, named after me, Mahama Cares. In addition to 1 month's salary that I've asked all appointees to donate to the Mahama Cares Trust Fund. So it means that those who omitted to declare assets by the date, you are paying 4 months' salary to Mahama Cares. However, if by close of day Wednesday, 7th May 2025, any of you still fails to declare your assets, count yourself automatically dismissed. The assets declaration regime is an important mechanism to check corruption and abuse of office, and it must be respected by all. My brothers and sisters, this is a very strict code, I must admit. But if we abide by this code, it will restore the faith of our people in our democracy. Strict compliance with this code will restore confidence in the political elite and help to consolidate our democracy. And so I expect all of you to do your best to abide by the code. Let us walk this path together with discipline, with humility, and with an unyielding commitment to the people of Ghana. Go ye forth and comply.
Now, still on this, Deputy Spokesperson for the government, Shamima Muslim, says government's decision to act on the issue of asset declaration was not directly triggered by the Fourth Estate report. She emphasises that the government was already working with the 120-day timeline, and the report merely encouraged a more organised approach.
This action has not been occasioned by the Fourth Estate report. As you know, we were planning and assessing and preparing towards the 120-day mark. And in fact, the Chief of Staff Office has also been requesting for information on the same subject matter. So the point of the matter is we also did realize from the Fourth Estate report that they included some individuals who had indeed filed their assets declaration forms. And so there were some errors in that regard. There were also those who have been appointed after 31st. So I guess the issue just brought to fore the need to comprehensively now take a look at all appointments that have been done till date, and then to see who has complied and who has not complied.
Now, the Metropolitan Archbishop of the Accra Catholic Archdiocese, Most Reverend John Bonaventure Kofi, has urged both Christians and political leaders to let their service to humanity be marked by action rather than rhetoric. Delivering a sermon during a pastoral visit to St. Francis of Assisi Parish at Ashalabutre in Accra, Archbishop Bonaventure stressed that Ghana's pressing challenges, particularly environmental degradation, require courageous, solution-driven leadership.
The pastoral visit coincided with 3 major activities in the parish: the launch of the parish 10th anniversary, a special birthday and Thanksgiving Mass for the Archbishop, the confirmation of young Catholics, and the sword cutting of St. Andrew's Catholic Church building at Nanakrom. Addressing societal wrongs, the Archbishop charged the Church to take a frontline role in promoting accountability, justice, and moral leadership.
Let our service for others be seen in action. Calamity is indeed an evil we must not tolerate. Calamity is indeed an evil we must not condone.
On the issue of illegal mining, Archbishop Bonaventure expressed deep concern, stating that current efforts to combat the menace are insufficient. He called on President John Mahama to lead a new era of positive transformation, one driven by concrete action and national unity.
Calamity is indeed a complex war, but the complexity of it cannot be wished away. We must fight it. President Mahama gave us 120-day ceiling for the fight against calamity. Nothing is too late to say enough is enough. Let them stop it.
Archbishop Bonaventure insists that the continuous back and forth in Ghana's development discourse is not helping speed progress.
Now, government has officially inaugurated the Presidential Committee on Accelerated Export Development, a strategic initiative under the President's 24-hour economy and export development program, aimed at transforming Ghana into a globally competitive, export-driven economy. Speaking at the ceremony held at the Flagstaff House, Presidential Advisor on the 24-hour economy and accelerated export development, Augustus Gusitano, reaffirmed the government's commitment to structural transformation through strategic partnerships with the private sector, trade experts and regulators. The presidential advisor outlined the 3 central pillars of the 24-hour economy and accelerated export development policy, which are production transformation, market systems efficiency, and human capital development, which together are designed to drive sustainable growth, job creation, and economic resilience. Gusitano acknowledged the existing challenges within Ghana's export landscape, including complex regulatory requirements, logistical inefficiencies at ports, and inadequate access to international quality certification. However, he emphasized that these barriers are not insurmountable and reaffirmed Ghana's strong fundamentals, including its strategic coastal location, expanding infrastructure, political stability, and status as host of the AFCFTA Secretariat. The committee, composed of distinguished industry leaders, trade professionals, and public sector representatives, will spearhead efforts to diversify and grow the nation's non-traditional export base. Currently, non-traditional exports generate only $3.5 billion annually, that's dollars, a figure Gusitano described as inadequate for an economy of Ghana's potential. Well, that's all we have for the GH Today news this morning. My name is Nanama Acquah. For more news updates, click on starfm.com.gh. But don't go anywhere. The show continues. Enjoy your day.
GHOne OV van has been one of the best vans I've used personally in this country. It runs a system where we are able to run on Dante to be able to do our broadcast mixed well also from this van.
I've used this OB van for quite a number of big productions, i.e. 3 music awards, the late President Rollis' state funeral, Emmys Africa Awards, and a number of them.
My experience with the GHOne van has been the state of the art equipment they have. Personal experience is you can use it for both indoor and outdoor, all events, conferencing, like anything you need a van to work for you, GHOne provides it. My experience with the van has been very good. Why? Because it has a number of facilities that I may not get in other vans. You know, the van has a very wide bench that can accommodate all my technical crew. ICCU, switcher, graphics, CG and all of that. And then it also has a studio, a green room studio that comes with TriCaster. So if you want somebody to do commentary on a live event, you can put that presenter who's in that studio as well and get that running. To give an experience to our audience, we're also watching on TVs and online. Work with an Exo technology system which makes your video mixing with Panasonic cameras, like a lot of other stuff in terms of content you need to get also for your live broadcasts. I prefer the GHOne van to a lot of other vans I've used, or even doing my own setup on a tabletop setup. Because on a production you see a number of people in the van. And so if you have a very small van, it means that it's going to be choked, and that will affect the creativity as well. The price has been discounted as well to accommodate varied budgets. And so no matter the budget you have, I understand you can have the track and do business with it. It looks huge, but very affordable. Cost is really, really affordable. My experience with it, EMI Awards last year, super excellent. Try it, call them, and I'm going to give you the best of price. Really affordable.